Everybody, I'm Dan with Alpha Industrial Supply. It's our first episode of At the Spindle. Really excited about it. Headed down to Reynolds Machinery this morning to meet with Brian Kilford at Gorilla Mill. Brian's been with Gorilla Mill for a while. We've asked Brian to come out today and to tell us about some new tools offered from Gorilla Mill. You know, I think as a distributor, it's important for me not just to learn about the tools and the catalog, but really to put these tools into action, to apply these tools and to watch them run. So really excited about that. We're gonna talk with Brian and learn a little bit about him, and we're gonna learn a lot about the tools.
How's my beard look?
Fucking good, dude. Looks perfect. Hey, Brian, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about Brian. A little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Brian Kilford. I work for Gorilla Mill. Worked there since 2002, I believe. So it's been some time. With the company, I started off as the driver, just doing deliveries. It was kind of like a summer job when I was in high school, and then moved into working there when I did some college. And then I was working the night shift there, just loading tools, learning how to make stuff and things like that. After that, I decided college wasn't for me, and I moved back down to Arizona. Didn't really know what I was going to do with myself. I kind of moved from job to job down there. Didn't really have a purpose, I felt like. So I ended up moving back to Wisconsin, where my family was, and only thing I could think of to do to get myself back on track, I kind of lost my drive, didn't know what I was going to do. I joined the Marines. That's what I did, and I was there for, I was in the Marines for 5 years, did a couple tours in Afghanistan, and then the week after I got out of the Marines, I started working at the Gorilla Mill again. This time I started working on grinding tools. You know, they threw me onto regrinds right away, which later on we figured out that you don't put the new guy on regrinds, because that's you know, you got to chase everybody's geometries there, you know. But yeah, I started in regrinds, and then I started making new tools and all the different kinds of tools that we had at the time. Eventually worked into running the regrind department, got into the tool design, engineering side of the house, and doing all the quotes and applications over the phone and things like that. So lots of bit of customer service. So I worked in a lot of different departments, you know, in Gorilla Mill as we were kind of growing. I was there, working there part-time in the early stages of the whole Gorilla Mill itself, the geometries that they came across, the patents that they discovered. Before Gorilla Mill came out, it was actually a carbide grinding company. I'm sure you'll learn a lot more about that whole story in another episode. But so I kind of, you know, started there again just when I was in high school, did my thing for a while, came back, worked there ever since I got out of the Marines, and just kind of been going with it. Now I'm working as a sales engineer. You know, I work closely with Mark Greenwood, who is one of our head engineers, our national technical guy. We do a lot of R&D together, you know, testing the tools back in our own R&D department. We have our Cat 50 there that we try to break stuff on, for lack of a better term. But that's basically it. This is what I do now. So I'm out, you know, seeing customers, helping them with applications, just working on growing the business.
What's your territory, Brian? Where area do you cover?
So right now I run 6 states. That would be Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, and South Dakota. I mean, you know, I've got customers that go into North Dakota too, so I'm pretty sure I'll end up helping up there as well.
Great. I know you've mentioned before, and I know Gorilla Mill does a lot for the community and for different schools and helping them out with their trades program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, so we do sponsor a couple of robotics teams through different high schools in the local area, which I thought was pretty neat. You know, my daughter's got the same sort of mechanical mindset, and I always thought she'd get into robotics. Oddly enough, she's in a manufacturing class at her high school right now. It's a welding and manufacturing class.
Awesome.
Found out that you know, one of her assignments was they gave this. It's called Stuff Magazine. So Biz Times, it has this magazine that they send it up to the high schools for all these trade classes, and they said, well, you got to pick a company out of this magazine to do a report on. And sure enough, she opened the magazine, there was Gorilla Mill was in there. So I thought it was pretty cool. It makes you feel like, you know, you try to target certain audiences so that they can learn, and it even it's a great recruiting tool too, because maybe one day they'll think, hey, I saw this company, and I'd like to get into this sort of thing. It's nice to know that it's reaching the market that you're aiming for, and we bring students in to see what we do all the time. I've had, in fact, one of those robotics classes, I had the whole team out, and they did a tour of the facility, showed them what we can do with that Yeti that we'll see here in a little bit on our machine, things like that. So we also have a program that we call Tools for Schools, where every couple of years, depends on when we actually can put the program together for that year, but we'll have a bunch of tools that, we'll have these schools call in, they'll let us know what they need, and we'll give them, some tools for free that they can get running in their facilities, so they can learn how to run high performance tools and things like that. So I thought that was a pretty neat program to help the community as far as, funding some of their machining projects and stuff like that, get these kids into the industry,
For sure. Brian, can you tell us about some of the challenges that you face in your position at Gorilla Mill?
Yeah, I have a pretty big territory, so being everywhere is hard to do. So having distributors like Alpha Industrial to help us with that is kind of crucial to what we do. I travel a lot, and that's just kind of the name of the game. But when I can't be in Minnesota because I'm in Ohio or something like that, it's just kind of important that we have people that understand our product and they're good partners willing to work with us on things. So that's kind of how we deal with those kind of challenges. It's good to have a nice partner in the business.
The name of our show is At the Spindle, and soon that's where we're going to be, is at the Spindle. Tell us about the tools that you brought with you today, and why those tools excite you. What's exciting about the tools that we're going to get testing today?
Well, honestly, I brought a couple of tools that I lead with when it comes to certain things. Our 4-flute Yeti is just a monster when it comes to full slotting. Of course, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just a plug and play, but I like the challenge of figuring out, their setup, their machine, their spindles, capabilities, coolant, all those different things. But the Yeti is just, it's just a monster when it comes to slotting, moving material, lots of cubes as fast as we can, And the Phenom is our 5-flute tool, so lots of profiling. When it comes to profiling, I lead with that tool. It's a very free cutting tool, and really is, we call it the Phenom for a reason.
Yeah.
So those are the two tools I brought, but when it comes down to being most excited about which tools, that's a really hard question to answer, just because we have a lot of great products, but what I'm really excited about is, cutting people's cycle time and watching the look on their face when they're, super happy about, we cut 30% of their cycle time. That's huge, that adds up. So, but with these tools, I brought these because I'm very confident now. And these are the ones that I always lead with when it comes to certain applications. So at Gorilla Mill, we have a lot of great tools, so it's hard to get excited about one in particular, but the Yeti's a fucking beast.
All right, you ready to get at the spindle?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You're comfortable with it, go 100. All right.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of At the Spindle. To see more episodes of At the Spindle, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.